not going to be on my channel, but because I'm redoing it, I'm fixing it, and I'm going to republish the sentencing of Catherine Magbanua separately. Then I'm going to fix and republish the hearing for Charlie Adelson separately. So you're going to have two videos that are going to premiere a little later this afternoon for you guys to watch if you missed it this morning live. I was there in person. You can, at this video here, when Julie and I will be discussing what happened, you can ask me questions directly about what I personally saw, and then also about my interview that I did with Tara Kawas at the conclusion of the hearing. Okay, she's ready to go. Here she is.
Hi.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about your channel.
Sure.
People don't know.
Hi, I'm Judy Singh. I'm a licensed practicing attorney in North Carolina, and my channel is called Asian American Legal Focus. So thank you for asking me to join in with you on your show. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. And for people on her channel, my name is James Wachewski, also known or better known perhaps as Mentour Lawyer. And I have a couple of channels, Deep Dive True Crime and Crime and Justice by Mentour Lawyer. But we're meeting here today just to have a chat, just to discuss what happened this morning, because a lot of things happened this morning. Catherine Magbanua was sentenced. All of this, of course, is regarding the murder of FSU law professor Dan Markel. The murder happened in July of 2014. Dan Markel was shot twice in the face, head, and died a few hours later. And the state, after a very long investigation, discovered that this was a murder for hire. The two hitmen were sent from Miami to Tallahassee to murder Dan Markel, and that it all had to do with the fact that he and his ex-wife had gone through a divorce. His ex-wife, who was also a lawyer and was also a professor at the time at the law school, wanted to move with her kids, or their two boys, to South Florida. And so the question is, who from that family ordered the hit? Was it only Charlie Adelson? He has been charged already. But of course, there are suspicions that possibly other members of the family also participated and or were involved or knew beforehand that this was going to happen. So today we had the sentencing of Catherine Magbanua, who was the alleged in-between or middle person, I guess, the sort of security blanket, according to the state, the person who would be protecting the people who order the hit, or the person who ordered the hit, from the hitman, basically shielding the identity of those people, the people who ordered the hit, or the person who ordered the hit, from the hitman in case they get caught, and was also sending communication back and forth. Anyway, Judy, you watched the whole thing. I can tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to stream the hearing this morning, and I had a little bit of a disaster because when I streamed the trial, I had a college student that worked with me for years, and she figured out how to do the whole streaming. But then she went back to college. She's in Orlando, so I had to do the streaming myself this morning. And of course, first time I learned on the job, and I messed up. So I missed the first 15 minutes of the hearing, and then I was going back and forth. So I really didn't get to watch too much. So tell me your first impression about the sentencing
Mm-hmm.
and your initial thoughts.
Okay, well, it looked like the broadcast started with the victim impact statement that was read by Dan Markel's sister, Shelley. And it was very moving. It was very touching. She's so articulate. I know she's an attorney in Canada. So it was just really sad where she talked more about how when they grew up, even though she and her brother externally looked very different because she had dark brown hair and dark eyes, and Dan had blondish hair and lighter colored eyes, but people would always say that she and her brother looked so much alike, maybe facially. I mean, I could tell, just looking at her today on that fuzzy screen, I was like, yeah, that's Dan Markel's sister. And she was just so well spoken, just like their mother. And I mean, see, I'm tearing up here. I mean, it was just so sad, but yet I'm so glad that she was willing to, come forward and speak on behalf of the family, to talk about how it's affected their whole entire family. It's not just her and her parents, but everybody else that was, touched by her brother or knew her brother. And, she mentioned that Dan's son, one of the sons, looks a lot like him and acted like him. And so, that's just kind of cute to hear about. And also, brings this case back to who it's really about, which is Dan Markel. He's the victim here.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, so that's the first thing, I tuned in and I heard the last bit of Shelley Markel's statement. And then later I rewound the video, whatever, not rewound it, but whatever. I watched the video again and again and again, to make sure that I could capture all the details of what everybody was saying. So, and I don't really believe it when Kawas was saying, "Oh, well, I'm sure you're all wondering why nobody's here from Katie's family." Well, it's because, there's been all this talk about them, speculation about where the kids are and stuff. So they want their privacy. I'm kind of like, well, if I don't know, if it were my sister or my relative that's potentially getting sentenced to life, I would have done whatever I could to be there in person and say something. But who knows? Maybe they're not articulate, or they would probably have a meltdown, or who knows what. But I
Yeah,
didn't. Really
Tara Kawas actually talked a little more in detail about that afterwards during the interview, which I'm gonna put up on the channel. But she also alleged that it was her client's instruction not to have anybody at the trial or at all involved in this, and that she wants to protect her privacy. That's what she said. So
Okay. Well, I mean, on the other hand, this is just speculation, but I would think that probably the relatives, especially the ones that have to take care of her children, are probably pretty pissed off at her too. I
well,
don't know. I
and
mean,
Tara Kawas again was insisting that that their fees were not paid by the Adelsons, but it was paid by the family. So that's what she's alleging. She was alleging outside the courtroom.
yeah.
Afterwards.
Well, it sort of makes sense now, because now she's going to need a public defender to help her with the appeal. So if there's really this like free flowing pot of money coming from the Adelsons or something, I mean, it just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I kind of believe that maybe her family did scramble around together to scrape up the money.
Right.
And who knows, maybe it was from her former sister-in-law stealing a big chunk of money from her employers.
Yeah.
Maybe some of that money went to the attorneys. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Because it would be unethical for an attorney to take money from an outside source where it could influence their representation, the zealous advocacy for their client.
Yeah, and I think that when I suggested that is a question that needs to be asked. Is who's funding this defense? That these lawyers are really doing a huge amount of work. That if the Adelsons or somebody else was paying for it, I'm sure that they found a way to do it indirectly, and it could be even with the help of the family. So we don't know. But Tara Kawas is saying, look, all I know is I was paid by the family. That's what she said. So that doesn't preclude the possibility that someone who had an interest in this helped indirectly. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm sure you've heard the reports that June was flown in a private plane with the employees from the Adelson Institute to go to Catherine Magbanua or Magbanua's trial.
I did know that they traveled together. I did not know that they were flown in a private plane. Where did you hear that information?
Yeah, I think it was either True Lifestyles or one of the frequent commenters on the YouTube videos who said that for a while there, June had an Instagram story of herself, being on or getting on a private jet, and then maybe saying some sappy words about how Charlie was still in her heart or thoughts, or something hinting at, her possible bias. So if that's true, I mean, that's kind of alarming. I mean, aren't people not supposed to be tampering with witnesses?
They're not supposed to.
Could that be seen as tampering with a witness by offering to, fly them on a private jet, or giving them money, or giving them gifts?
Well, it's obviously, it's a difficult to put the connection there. If he still has a relationship with June, and they obviously have a relationship with those employees, and
Mhm.
so yeah, I guess it could be in a sense. It definitely looks shady, no doubt.
Mhm. Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit, since I haven't watched every single one of your videos because you have so many videos on your channel.
Yes,
So how do you know Tara Kawas?
from the case. I mean, I don't know her in any
Yeah.
other way other than from this case. So I met her through the case.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you knew her,
No,
just by being a practicing attorney or something.
no. The first time that I talked to her was when I did that full interview that I recorded. So,
Hmm.
and today I did another interview with her, and I spoke to her some more after. Of course, the big reporter that I am. I guess I should stick to being a lawyer. I ran out of battery again. The first time that I interviewed Christopher the
No.
Ghost and Tarek Awas, I ran
Oh,
out of battery, and it happened again this time.
oh no. So what'd you do? Take out your cell phone and start recording her in the hallway?
No, I was recording with my cell phone
Oh,
both times, and then both times I ran out of battery.
yeah.
So
This is YouTube journalism at its
yeah, of
finest.
course. But it
Well,
was interesting. It was interesting that I was the only one filming that interview. So the TV cameras were not there. She was just talking to different reporters, and also there was a guy from Dateline. Um, there were a couple of people there, but I was the only one who recorded it. So
mhm.
it's gonna be an exclusive interview with Tara Kawas coming up later this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I can't wait. There's just so much to watch on everybody's channels. Yeah, but the first time you interviewed Tara Kawas, how did you approach her? And was she just totally agreeable to talking with you? Like some guy she never even knew before that wants to come up and talk to her?
Okay, she knew of me. She knew of my coverage of the case.
Hmm.
So when I was present at the hearing, um, just like maybe if you're covering the case and you're talking about it, and the lawyers watch your channel, and then you go to the courtroom, they might recognize you when they see you. They say, "Oh, that's Judy. That's the lady who's been talking about the Markel case." So they recognize me and they said hello. But what happened was I simply um, saw that there was a reporter from the local news who immediately after the hearing was doing an interview with Christopher the Ghost and Tara Kawas. And so she had she had the camera guy and everything. They were doing the interview outside the courtroom. So I picked up my camera, my phone, and started to record it. And then when the lady asked just a couple of soft questions, something about COVID, something about the trial, whatever, like maybe three, four, trying to get a couple of sound bites, and then she was done.
Hmm.
And then I said, "Well, will you answer my questions?" And they said, "Yes, of course, go ahead." I was like, "Well, okay. Are you sure you want to do this?" Because I figured that she would know that I wasn't going to be asking any softball questions. But they said, "Sure, we'll answer your questions." And then I interviewed them like for 40 minutes outside of the courtroom. And today was the same thing. She did speak quite a bit.
Hmm. I see. Did you ask her about the so-called arguments she was having with people on Instagram?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, I guess once you become a journalist, you really do have to be objective, right? Like you
Yes.
can't really insert your own personal beliefs or, you can't really just.
I've always, even as an attorney, I always try to look at every case objectively, and
Mhm.
because I think that makes you an effective attorney to look at it from both sides, to
Mhm.
anticipate what the other side is going to argue. But you know, I was just asking some general questions. There were other people asking her questions during this interview.
Mhm.
So there was Karen Cyphers, who covers this case extensively. She asked a few interviews as well.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to reviewing. There was so much said that I don't remember half of it. I'm glad that
Mhm.
at least I recorded. The
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Yeah, and then maybe I'm gonna just do another informal live stream later tonight on my channel. So I
Oh,
see all
cool.
the comments coming, but I know like it's really hard to look over here and then my live stream is on another computer on the floor here, so I can't flash people's things up on the screen or
Yeah, I guess I can,
address
and
them all.
I'll
Yeah,
go
you
back and
can
say
because you're in
hello. I
charge of
can say
this.
hello.
Mhm.
So
Hey
um,
everybody.
So, hello, everybody, of course. Could you hear Katie crying? Okay, I didn't see much crying today. Did anybody see her crying? But I did in the interview, by the way, in the interview that I did with Tara Kawas, I asked Tara, why was Katie upset before the verdict was read? And she gave me an answer, so you can check it out later.
Yeah.
Please
Well,
explain to.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
very, it's just like a very overwhelming, stressful process. So, we can't fault Katie for crying. Yeah. I'm sure we'd all be crying if we were going to be sentenced to life in prison. Okay.
Okay, so please explain to people that Katie is not going to deal and turning Wendy and Donna. There are many still holding out hope. So I did ask twice to Tara Kawas about that issue. It will be on the interview, so I'm not going to disclose everything from the interview, but I don't think that that's a foreclosed deal in general. So I'm going to let Kawas answer my questions later. You can watch that. But just like on the interview that Georgia Kappelman gave at that show, Surviving the Survivors, she said that there's still possibility to negotiate with Katie. In general, I can tell you that Katie's lawyer said the same thing, that she would like to find a way for Tara, not for not Tara, but
Katie.
for Katie not to not to have to serve the rest of her life in prison, and for her to cooperate.
Hmm.
All right, let me see. Hi, Clovis. Hi, Kara. I would have to practice saying your name. Oh yeah, you can just call me ML. That's
Your
fine.
new name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentor lawyer is fine. Um, Actually, the sentencing, um, you know, could have happened right away. So it took 60 days. It's usually a little longer than usual. Usually, people get sentenced within about 30 or so days of the end of the trial. So if you guys have any questions for us, I'm going to highlight them. If not, we'll just keep chatting
Mhm.
with Judy.
Yeah, I see a question from Patty L. Thank you for being here. She said, "When are you going to show the interview, ML?" He said this afternoon, later.
It's
Later.
uploading. It's uploading to.
Yeah.
It's uploading right now on my phone. Let me see how much percent already uploaded. 35%. So it's right here.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting
Uploading.
Yeah, and then we also got the motion for Charlie's motion for pretrial release, but neither one of us has had time to fully read the whole thing yet. So,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later. I'll talk about it later tonight.
So, but we can
Send
explain. We
tonight.
can explain. We can explain that development. So what happened was is that, yeah, I believe it was yesterday, late yesterday, the attorneys for Charlie Adelson filed a motion requesting what is called an Arthur hearing. That is a hearing where they will get a chance to ask the court to allow Charlie Adelson to wait for trial while out on bond. Obviously, this is a very, very serious case, and so it's very unusual for anybody who's been charged with something so serious to get out on bond, but it's possible. It has happened. It happened, for example, in the case of the murder of Samara Frash, where Dr. Adam Frash was eventually let out on bond for some time. And the state of Florida has a very high burden of proof, um, is even beyond the burden of beyond the reasonable doubt to show that he's not entitled to any sort of release on bond. But the state doesn't have to prove the whole case. What Georgia said today was that they're going to rely mostly on the transcripts from the prior trials. So it is anticipated that this hearing will be just like an afternoon or a morning, and we'll cover that live on here.
Mhm. Is there a date for that?
Not yet. It hasn't been
Okay.
set yet, but they're obviously going to try to get it done as soon as possible.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. I saw that Patty L had also asked about the court hearing. Yeah, that was on live today, a little after 9 o'clock Eastern time. So you can still see it on Deep Dive True Crime as well as the Tallahassee Democrat.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry. I can't stop. I'm sorry.
Why are you
Okay,
gonna send them to the Tallahassee
it's
Democrat?
okay. It's
I'm
only
kidding.
on
I'm
Deep
kidding.
Dive True Crime. Yeah, the
No,
exclusive scoop.
let me do this. I was there live and I was trying to stream it live and I had a technical difficulty, so half of it is failed. So I only recorded the second half and then the full Charlie Adelson hearing. But what I'm doing in the process, I'm doing right now, it's let me see if this one is finished. Okay, I actually still have 6 minutes to go to it's rendering right now. So in 6 minutes, I'm going to be able to upload to YouTube the sentencing. So what I did is I edited it. So there's no fluff, no empty moments. It's from beginning to end. The sentencing of Catherine Magbanua, that's going to be in the channel maybe in the next hour. And then I'm also doing a separate video just for the Charlie Adelson hearing. So all of it's going to be here on Deep Dive True Crime and or Crime and Justice by Mentour.
Great. Yeah. And let's see, what else are Tara Kawasa and Christopher DeCosta a couple? No, I don't think they're a couple. What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, do they just work on a few cases together? Maybe they mean like as in business partners. Like
they definitely seem to have a lot of cases together. So
okay. And did you ask Tara why Sigfrado did not testify? That's a good question.
I did.
You did. Okay, so we got to wait for your interview. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to reveal all the answers from the interview because then nobody's going to watch the interview.
Well, my guess is what Georgia Kappelman said on her interview with Surviving the Survivor, which was, I don't know, maybe he couldn't keep his story straight or maybe he couldn't keep his line straight. Because he's not the smartest guy. And, like if he had to make up some grand story about, oh, yeah, it was just me and Charlie talking behind the scenes, and he agreed that he would stop dating Katie if I killed off Dan Markel. Well, how's he going to answer when he's cross-examined about all the evidence? So right. I'm just guessing it's probably because they might have tried to rehearse with him and he just couldn't keep his answers straight, or just
I will say that she denied any rehearsing attempts.
Okay.
She denied trying to rehearse, and in general, she blamed it on fear of retribution for anybody who helps who testifies in a trial and speaks about somebody else's fault. So that's what the gist of what she said. But there's more, so watch the interview.
Yes, we will watch your interview. I mean, I really have some real work to do this afternoon now, but man, there's just like so much coming out on your channel as well as other channels.
It's when you're folding the laundry on the weekend. That's how I do it. I try to listen when I'm doing some chores.
Yeah, we can all clean our houses while listening to these long live stream shows and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Well, I did want to. Oh yeah, we answered that. Yeah. It's going to be later on this afternoon as soon as it processes. Yeah, I mean, I did notice that Charlie looks like he has aged even more just being in jail for the last few months. Probably bad diet and not enough sunlight, or not enough.
I hadn't seen him in person before, so it's hard to know because photos these days. You can use filters, all this stuff. So it's like, how do you know how he really looks like unless you met him in person? So hard to say.
Yeah, but it did look like he was more like 6 feet tall because True Lifestyles was kind of going back and forth. Like, well, on this document it said he's 5'9", but this other document says he's 6 feet tall. I think he's at 6 feet tall. He was taller than the bailiffs in the court.
Yeah, he seemed a bit taller. I agree with your assessment on that.
Yeah. Let's see. So can you tell us, so who was present in the courtroom then? Was it a packed house or just a few people sitting out there?
There was maybe 20, 25 people. There was some people that were there for something else because there were two other sentencings. But here, let me see if I can. I can show you picture that I took.
Oh, they allowed you to take pictures in there?
Well, I think there was a moment when there was nothing going on,
And you're like, okay, I'm gonna snap a picture, let
and
them chase me
I
out.
was holding my phone. I was like, okay, I can just switch to photo, just
Mhm.
but I'm actually supposed to be getting the real photos from, because what happens when you have a trial or a hearing like this and there's media there, the court only allows one camera and one person to take photos. So there is a person, it was from the Tallahassee Democrats, who was doing the photos, and they have to share with other media. So eventually I'm supposed to be getting a package, like via email with a few photos from the photographer.
Yeah, I see. And are you on some sort of like email list where you can quickly get notice of any news in somebody's case? Is it set up like that?
No,
No.
no. What do you mean by that?
Oh, like if there are new filings in somebody's case, is there any way in that courthouse to get email notifications, or do you go to a website to just keep checking every day to
Yeah,
see?
I just go to the website.
Yeah,
There might be a way, maybe if you're friends with the prosecutor or the defense attorney, for them to
yeah.
tip you. I do not know of any other way than just going once a day and checking the docket.
Hmm.
So that's the way I get it.
Yeah, I see. Well, I don't know if you can comment on this, but I really hope that the prosecutors have been in touch with those attorneys involved in the insurance lawsuits that Charlie has been involved in, because I feel like there's some information that the
Mhm.
insurance attorneys could be sharing from their investigation of Charlie with the prosecutors. Um,
Yeah,
so, do you think
I know
this
the
is a
Georgia
one?
Kappa. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Yeah,
Oh, it's okay.
finish your point. Go ahead.
No, no, I just want to ask your opinion. Do you think that those insurance company attorneys have been in touch with the prosecutor to share information from their investigation?
I think that that's a very dangerous thing for an attorney to try to use criminal, a potential criminal case to gain an advantage in a civil case. So ethically, they probably don't themselves reach out to the state attorney. But because there has been coverage from you or from me and from other people about the fact that there was a civil lawsuit, and I occasionally do communicate with Georgia. I am aware that she's aware of it and that she has some of the materials from that case.
Okay, good. Yeah, because just about a week ago, I read the deposition of the CPA for the Adelsons, and that guy said during his deposition last December that he had not been contacted by any law enforcement or investigators regarding the Markel case. So that I found very strange. So hopefully by now they have talked to the CPA, because I think he had some good information there.
Did
So
he say anything interesting during the deposition that
yeah.
suggested that he may have some knowledge?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, first he mentioned briefly that he had actually been talking to Charlie in a restaurant, and Charlie was afraid that he was going to get arrested. And then the CPA also said in his deposition, this is my recollection, not having it in front
Mhm.
of me, also said that Harvey Adelson had talked with him and, wanted to make sure all the affairs were in order in case the family got arrested, and wanted to make Jay Shapiro, the CPA, either the trustee or have power of attorney so he could handle all the stuff if they got arrested. So, I just find it really interesting because I would love to know, what else does the CPA know? What else did the Adelsons tell him? So that wasn't the point of the deposition, though,
Of
because that had
course.
to do with disability insurance denial. But still,
Well, but I'm assuming that the insurance attorneys, they are arguing in that case that all of the damages are not from the
back
injury,
injury.
the back injury, but they are from the related to the criminal case.
Yeah.
So were they trying to dig into the CPA, and was he refusing to answer stuff, or?
Oh no, no, it's just that the attorney representing the insurance company didn't really follow up and start asking any more probing questions about that. Like, how did you even meet the Adelson family? How long have you known them?
Hmm.
Have you often socialized with them and gone out to eat with them? And, what did they tell you about the Dan Markel murder? Or, just more questions. I'm just a nosy person. Okay. So I know the insurance attorney person I mean, she was just doing her job, right? Like, she's not there to be the criminal investigator, but still,
I
I
don't
was
know. Those insurance defense attorneys can be pretty
pit
mean
bull.
and pit bulls, and they get paid
Mhm,
by the hour. So,
mhm.
you know, many of them would have probably gone deeper, and maybe this one, had reason not to. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, bottom line is, I really hope that whatever information has been procured from the civil cases, and Charlie's been involved in a bunch of different civil cases. I hope that information, if helpful, would also be given to the prosecutors or the investigators too.
When you say a bunch of civil cases, did you go and look and see if there's more
Oh yeah, yeah.
practice cases or what kind?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't obviously gotten all the files or read through
Right.
all the files and stuff, but in the discovery responses, it sounded like he had been involved in at least about 10 other civil lawsuits. And then, of course, you have the paternity child support lawsuit that was
Right.
filed by his son's mother, and that resolved. I haven't gotten a copy of that file either, but since you're in Florida, it's probably a lot easier for you to access those files and stuff than me, trying to make phone calls and
Sure.
do stuff by mail and all that. But um yeah, so there is just so much information out there, and I do feel like, it is kind of good that Charlie didn't get arrested the same time as Catherine, because now look at all this other dirt that's come out. He's burned a lot of bridges. His friends have gotten mad at him and turned their backs on him. He's made all these ex-girlfriends mad at him. So I'm sure there's like so much more information in the last 6 years that has been collected that we don't even know about.
And yet, from what I hear, he's been making hundreds of phone calls and talking to people nonstop, pretty much, yeah, in his time in jail. The interesting part in his hearing, and I'm assuming you heard. Did you watch the portion of the hearing for Charlie?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so, did you see there that the defense attorney was saying that they want the trial faster?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that, and then, the judge was like, "Okay, well, we'll have our next little management hearing in November or early December, and then, maybe the trial in January to March." I'm like, wow, that's really fast, because I really
Yeah,
thought it was going to be more than a year from now before he would get a trial.
and I think that the judge thought the same and was a little bit surprised that he wanted it to happen
Mhm.
so fast. But yeah, so for you guys who haven't watched the hearing, um, that was the part that was like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna have a trial coming soon. So
Mhm.
it looks like they're aiming at having a trial in January,
Yeah.
February next year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm trying to look at some of the comments now because it's kind of hard to juggle. I'm sorry, I've been ignoring everybody on my own live stream because it's down here on the floor.
That's okay.
The other laptop is here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I'm scrolling for you. I'm scrolling for you. Did
Okay,
you ask
thank
her?
you. Yeah, so we'll look at the comments that are on your channel right now. Why is my chat blocked? Huh.
Who
That's
said
funny.
that?
Michael Palmer says, "Why is my chat blocked?"
That's not blocked. If you can read it, it's not
Yeah, I
blocked.
can see it, but I don't have the power to flash people up on the screen
Uh,
here.
here, here's Michael Palmer. So you're there. Was any of Charlie Edison's family there? No, there wasn't anybody from the Edisons.
Hmm.
Maybe on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for those photos? No, I don't have to pay for the photos. The media shares them. Um, Maui, nobody likes my questions. Let's go find her.
Okay.
No, Charlie has not pleaded yet. He's asking for a trial in January. And oh, we answered your question. Was there any family from Charlie there? And there's nobody. So you asked me, Judy. Actually, you asked me about who was there. So there
Yeah.
was quite a bit of media people there. there was the special agent Stanford from the FBI went to watch it. I didn't see any of the other law enforcement people related to the case there, except for the special agent from the FBI. I'll say maybe 20 people, but like I said, maybe half of them were from the other case. And obviously Terica was there. Christopher the Coast, the attorney, was not there, and then she explained later during the interview that he had something else and he couldn't be there.
Okay. Jason wants to know: do we think she's guilty of what she was guilty of? I think
is this the question?
Yes.
Do you think she's guilty of what she was found guilty of? Yes, 100%. I believe she is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just so like weird how her whole defense was basically to play clueless and play dumb and just say, I don't remember. I mean, I liked your video, the one that you put up about a week ago, with Katie being cross-examined.
Oh, yeah. So answering this question from John Beach, I did ask that question. Watch the interview.
Okay, watch the interview. Okay. Yeah. So Mentor Lawyer, have you been following up on fancy fiction and true lifestyles in the last couple of days?
I've always supported their channels, and obviously I listen to when I can.
Okay.
I'm also a busy attorney, so I know the fancy fiction has been putting up quite a bit of the wiretap recordings, and I always enjoyed. She has very, very cool material that she produces, and I love to watch fancy fiction. True Lifestyles has actually come up with some cool original information about what's the life of Charlie Adelson in jail, who's he calling. So yeah, I do follow up and support all the other channels, including yours. I saw.
Thank you.
I watch when I can. What you do as well. I didn't get a chance to watch. I saw that you did an interview recently, another panel on the Surviving the Survivor with two other lawyers.
Oh yeah, with David Ladd and John Singer. Yeah. That was.
How did that go?
That was a good interview. I mean, it was like I've known of and sort of communicated here and there with David Lott for years, because long time ago we both wrote about the Robert Wone. He was a DC attorney who was murdered, and we still don't really know what happened. So we had communicated with that, but I had never actually like video chatted or met David in person. So it was really cool to agree to be on Surviving the Survivor again. And then they're like, oh yeah, you will be there with David Lott and John Singer. And so I Googled John, and I was like, oh my God, he'd been like quoted. There was a big article about him in the Wall Street Journal when he was representing men that were accused of sexual harassment, who got swept up in the Me Too movement or something. So I was like, hey, this is really cool. I feel like I'm not worthy, but hey, they had me on. And from the comments, I mean, some of the comments are kind of mean, don't get bitten, don't like diss the other people, but it was a really interesting interview. So
and it was all about the Dan Markel case, or was it about other issues?
Oh no, it was about the Dan Markel case because David Lott had actually been friends with Dan back in their days at Harvard when they both wrote for the school newspaper. So he had kept in touch with Dan, and David has written extensively about the whole Markel case ever since Dan was murdered. So he really knew the case well too.
Yeah, I'm familiar with David Ladd. I know that he also had a very tough battle with COVID, and I remember that I was a lot of people were praying for his survival. I'm glad to see that he's doing great. Yeah. I see that I have received some kind of donation, a super sticker from Michael Palmer that for some reason I cannot highlight. So maybe that went to Judy. I don't know.
No. I think it went to you because
I don't know why I can't highlight it. So Michael Palmer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maybe there is something going on
with the chat.
Yeah. Why is it that I cannot highlight Michael Palmer? That's crazy.
I don't know, because it's not showing up on my live stream. Yeah, so I'm sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring people on my own channel, but I'm like mainly on this other computer here chatting with.
I found that chat from him. So thank you, Michael Palmer. Appreciate it. let's see. Any other questions? If
Mhm.
Charlie gets bond, will they put an ankle monitor on him? For sure. That's the
Yeah.
very bare minimum that they would do. Yes. So
Yeah,
that
because
would be
remember he told Katie at Dolce Vita that they would have already ran to the airport, or they would have already gone to the airport if they thought that they were suspects,
yeah.
something to that effect.
I think that he would be I mean, with the recording that was played at the trial, where they're talking about the airport, he definitely would be a flight risk. I don't see him getting out on bond. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty very very confident that
Mhm.
he won't.
Yeah,
But if he is,
I don't think he's going to get out. Yeah. Oh, so anyway, the reason I mentioned Fancy Fiction and True Lifestyles, the other YouTube channel, is because I've been watching a lot of their videos too, pretty much everything lately. And
mhm.
so the biggest news is that Katie has had a girlfriend in jail. So she was caught multiple times making out with this woman named Trinity Russell in the bathroom at the jail. And Katie has also been caught up in some other conflicts in the jail, not being a model prisoner.
Trinity what?
Trinity Russell, Trinity with an I, with
Oh, so there's no Y in the end.
no. I mean, based on what flashed up on the screen from the police report, said Triniti, and then Russell, the regular way it's spelled,
Russell.
ELL.
All right. Well, you can talk, and I'm
Okay.
gonna go.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go
but
find.
see, like now I might get some hateful comments saying, "Hey, that lady lawyer is so gossipy. What's with her attitude?"
No, I think it's interesting to find out. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think this is interesting. I mean, why? I mean, people come to our channels because they want more information. So I'm
right.
sorry if I seem gossipy or something. Maybe I need to just stop laughing or smiling then. But um, okay, so basically, Katie got in some other incident or conflict regarding names on the laundry machine. I'm not really sure what that meant. Maybe you're supposed to write your name on a list if you want to use the laundry machine at jail. So somebody claimed that it was Katie's fault, and Katie might have, maybe lied, like writing in only her name and somebody else's name as who was next in line to use the laundry machine. So then Katie told one of the guards or somebody that works for the jail, I'm tired of these bitches. And so some people thought that was kind of funny that she was just really stressed out and mad. And today I heard on Fancy Fiction a recording of this really troubling screaming and yelling phone call. This was from 2016, where Katie was cursing out Sigfredo Garcia's mother and screaming and yelling and saying that Sigfredo had tried to strangle her and beat her head against the wall. She was tired of him sleeping around and cheating on her with the prostitute, and how come Sigfredo's mom wasn't helping her out, and just screaming and cursing and saying all sorts of curse words at this older lady who's being very calm and trying to get her calmed down. And you just feel really sorry, really
Hold on
sorry.
a second. Uh, I'm live on YouTube right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, no problem, no problem. All right. I do have information about Trinity.
Oh, what do you have
This,
information? What's
this
she there for?
she's there for. She has a lot of charges. First time that she was charged is 2020, and she was born in 1999, so she's young. She's like 23, and everything has to do with drugs: oxycodone, amphetamine, alprazolam, you know, cannabis, all kind of trafficking, carrying concealed weapon, unlicensed firearm. Let me see if I get a picture of her here.
Okay. Trinity is Katie's girlfriend in jail.
Well, allegedly.
Alleged. Yeah, we always have to keep prefacing allegedly,
Okay,
allegedly.
so I'll take a picture and I'll show it to you. All right, let's see.
Yeah, thank you, True Lifestyles, for getting that information. Yeah, she's out there in the chat.
Can you see it? Let me go
Oh,
back. Let me go
oh
back.
man, that's her girlfriend.
Um,
She looks rough. You need to lift it up a little higher, but I can sort of see it.
yeah, that's the Trinity person. So just showing you who she is.
Yeah, maybe she's the one who so lovingly did all those elaborate braids on Katie for her trial. Interesting. Thank you for being able
Uh,
to find that information.
yeah. Well, thanks
Yeah,
for letting me know. I hadn't heard that from Susan.
yeah. So True
Susan from
Lifestyle.
True Styles.
Yeah, she says Katie had her in bed too. Yeah, I think there was something about Katie being caught with a girl in her bed in jail. Oh man. Well, everybody craves intimacy, right? Especially when you're locked up and away from everybody.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Um,
mm,
True Lifestyles, by the way, she plays tennis. So
yeah.
someday, hopefully, we'll have a live YouTube tennis match. Mental
Yeah.
Lawyer versus True Lifestyles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'll just help get you guys water and snacks and chase after the balls because I can't really
Hey,
play tennis. I'm terrible.
well, you got time to learn.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, already an athlete. You're a skater, right?
Yeah,
So
I haven't gone skating in a really long time though because of, COVID
you
concerns.
need tennis. You need tennis.
Yeah, I need to be outdoors and play tennis and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Oh, True Lifestyle says she's a tennis instructor. Wow.
That's right.
That's
That's
very
right.
impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
There,
oh,
there
there
it
it shows
is.
up. Yeah,
It
thank
showed
you.
up.
Thank you, Michael, for supporting the channel. Um, let's see. So tell us more about like what you do on a regular basis then. I mean, are you doing YouTube mainly as your job
No,
now?
no, not
No,
mainly
you're
as my
still a
job. I
lawyer too.
still
Yeah.
a lawyer, yes. And what happens is that I have several computers on my desk, and
Mhm.
so a lot of the stuff that I do is uploading, downloading. You basically spend maybe 45 minutes an hour editing a video, and then it
Mhm.
takes like 2 hours for this to upload or something like that. So, I it's just learning how to do a lot of things at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then
juggling
there,
that
yeah,
stuff.
and then there are times, obviously, when there's big things coming up in the legal arena, a big motion or something like that, where I just have to just take a break from YouTube.
Mhm. I see. So what's going on with your Hitman option movie? Are you still going to continue filming stuff for that movie you've been
Yeah,
making?
the thing is, that's the problem. See, I do have so many ideas and things that I want to get done, but there's limited time. So I just been so busy with the law that I couldn't finish it, and I am looking for help. I recently started working with a young lady who's the was introduced to me um, by who was it? Well, somebody introduced me. Um, it was Ira.
Uh-huh.
He introduced me to a lady who is in the film school at FSU, and hopefully she will be helping me with some of the editing of the videos. And if she does a great job, then because what I'm doing with that movie, what's happening is I just have to finish the editing. That's it. So I'm
Mhm.
looking for help because that takes a lot of time.
Oh yeah, yeah, editing, and plus the fact that this isn't our day job, so we don't really
Right.
know how to edit things and make it look like a professional movie.
Oh, I get so many complaints about sound, about this, about that. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot. I mean, these days I can do a lot of stuff that I couldn't a year and a half ago. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
it took me 6 months of being mentor lawyer to learn about the existence of StreamYard and that you can share the screen. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I didn't know about StreamYard at all when I first started my YouTube channel, so I was just always using my cell phone and a cheap little tripod that I bought on eBay, and sometimes the sound was terrible too, and all the wrong angles, not enough lighting, disturbances in the background noise. Yeah, so it's all a learning curve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So did you also think about writing a book, maybe about some of the cases that you cover?
Well, the time is the issue. I mean,
Oh yeah, you don't have
I've
time to
always
write a book.
I am a pretty big writer. I mean, I write 50. I wrote an appellate brief on my sanctions appeal that is almost 100 pages. So I mean, I could easily write a book about anything.
Mhm.
And so what I have thought about is basically just doing a little more of the storytelling for some of the true crime cases that I cover, to just not just upload the raw stuff, which I think is very important for people to be able to judge for themselves. That's why I like to upload raw materials, but also to do some objective and fair, uh, introductions or longer introductions. And I'm actually the one that I was thinking about is in this case that I think that I could put a pretty nice long story to explain the whole thing. But obviously, many other people have done it and have done it really well. So
Mhm.
someday,
Yeah. And also recently I read up about the state bar coming after you, or there was a complaint made by you by Jack Campbell, right?
yes.
I mean, are you able to talk a little bit about that? Because I am interested. Like, do you think you did something that really pissed him off that caused him to want to try to jeopardize your license? It just
I,
sounds
I have,
terrible. I feel really bad for you that, you're just trying
yeah,
to get information out there to the public, and then your livelihood is being threatened.
yeah. I have no idea why he did that. So somebody may have want to interview him
Mhm.
and ask him that question. But he communicated with me a day or two before he filed a complaint with the bar, and he specifically asked me about a case that I was covering, and it has to do with the murder of Elisa Thompson, in which I also represent the family of Elisa Thompson. And I believe that he was talking about removing. He asked me to remove a video of one of the witnesses because he said that the witness was worried about retaliation. And I said, sure, of course, I'll remove the video, but he's eventually going to have to testify at trial. So maybe someday in the future, I'll put it back up, and you can call me anytime, whatever. But he decided to just say, well, I don't think he's like, well, as an attorney, you're not supposed to basically put anything at all in the media. I'm like, what? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So what his position did not make a lot of sense to me. So I responded to him and I told him why he's not making any sense. And so I guess he felt very strongly about his analysis, and
Mhm.
he took it to the bar. So
Mhm. I see.
I dealt with it, and the
Yeah. Well, were you so worried that you had to hire your own attorney to fight back about?
my level of worriness about that was from 0 to 100, 0.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
I would still
and
be worried a little bit,
and
or stressed out.
some people would, but I no, I was not worried, and I did it myself.
Mhm. Okay, well, good. I mean, I'm glad that you're still able to, do everything. And I think back then when you wrote your rebuttal, you had 10,000 subscribers, right? You're like, I'm
Yeah.
just a little YouTube channel. What are you getting on my case for?
I still think that even with 70,000 subscribers, the number of people that watch it from Tallahassee, you know, could be 100, 200. I don't know. It's not huge.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's like, why are you so concerned about me?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jason wanted to know, when you're discussing a case publicly, do you try to put yourself in their shoes as to how you would want something portrayed? Mm.
I just always my personal response to that would be I always try to be objective, and also try to be protective of witnesses and people who I consider victims. So I try to consider there. I'm less restricted when it comes to the defendants, especially if they have been convicted already, or if there's strong evidence against them. So I don't mind putting all of that out. But if there is a witness or a victim, then I'm just more careful about what I put out.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, same here. I'm beginning to realize, I mean, thanks to some of the comments that people have made, they're like, well, you're an attorney, you have to worry about allegations against people that haven't actually been charged and all that stuff. And so yeah, I mean, I do feel like I need to be a little bit more guarded. And that's why I kind of enjoy doing these verbatim readings. I mean, to some people, they're very boring and they don't want to watch it. Some people say they really like the verbatim readings. So you can't please everybody. But at least when I'm just reading a legal document, I'm just presenting the information. and I give a
Right.
little bit of commentary, but the words are whatever they are, from somebody's deposition or from a legal pleading or whatever. So in a way that kind of protects me or any legal YouTuber a little bit more, to say we're the conduits for information. I'm not just here to smear somebody's good name.
Right. And so on that issue, that's a very good point. So one of the reasons why I put up a lot of raw materials is exactly for what you just said, so that people can just look for themselves, make their own analysis, and reach their conclusions. The other thing is, of course, if I'm ever going to try to analyze, I try to, number one, be objective, and number two, I make it clear that this is an analysis, an opinion, and that the person, especially if they haven't even been charged, that if they were charged someday, they will have an attorney, they'll be able to present their defense and to answer the charges against them. So, but I don't mind expressing my opinion so long as I do it fairly and clearly, and people know that I'm giving my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So thank you so much for always giving us all the good stuff. Like I just really enjoyed watching more of the different crime interviews and interrogations. And, Sarah Boone is obviously like a big, what do you call it? Like a potential pot of interesting, fun information, because she's so wacky and weird. And everybody's always commenting about that case.
Which one? I'm sorry.
Sarah Boone, the lady that zipped
Oh,
up Jorge
yeah,
Torres in
yeah,
the suitcase and killed him.
yeah.
And then she used her cell phone to record him pleading from within the suitcase, begging to be let out. I mean, what a weirdo. Like it's like there are
I
people
think
like this.
it is, I guess she's the poster person for, being careful about alcohol and about alcohol abuse, and
Mhm.
shows how much it can change you, and how bad you can be when you're under the influence,
Mhm.
and not even remember it the next day.
Well,
She
allegedly. Remember,
Well,
she
I
kept
mean,
saying,
she gave the phone voluntarily, like, "Oh, here, take my phone." And then at the
yeah,
interrogation, they're like, "Yeah, we have your recordings." What recordings? It's like she doesn't remember that she did that.
jeez.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. She's crazy. Is there going to be a trial coming up for Sarah Boone?
it was moved to November, late November, I believe. So I
Okay.
was gonna cover it, but it got moved again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember a lot of people were really excited waiting for whatever it was, July 25th or sometime
Yeah,
not too long ago when her
I
trial
think
was supposed to be.
I think it was gonna be about the same time as Dan Markel, so I was okay with the fact that it was moved. And
Yeah.
one of the things I did, by the way, it's like I said, I don't mind throwing in a little bit of humor, even in dark cases like this one. And obviously, I feel very sorry for what happened to Jorge Torres in that case. But I thought it would be cool because she's been like now to her fifth attorney all
Oh,
the time. So what I'm doing is I hired an actress. I already have an agreement with her. She's a real actress, and she's going to be playing Sarah Boone, and I'm going to be playing. What is the name of this very famous lawyer that everybody? Gosh, just
who? Baez?
Baez. Jose. I'm going to
Baez.
be playing. I'm going to be playing Jose Baez. So we're going to
What?
pretend that I'm at the jail.
Uh-huh.
That she sent me a letter, and then and then she asked me to represent her. So I'm going to have an in-person attorney-client conference the first time to see whether I'm going to take the case.
That's
And
gonna be great. Yeah, I can't wait
and
to
she's
see
gonna be a little tipsy
from what?
from
Dr.
toilet
Toilet
wine,
Toilet White.
toilet wine.
Well, that'll be a real hoot. Hey, but so did you ever know Jose Baez, that attorney?
Not personally, never met him, but I know that the firm that I used to work for, they had a case where he was involved, but I never met him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Florida is a big state. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting, like the
yeah.
southern part is almost like a different state than the northern part of the
Well,
state.
he's Central Florida, and I have a lot of connections in Central Florida. My younger brother's an attorney there, but I've
Mhm.
never had a chance to meet with him or have a
Yeah,
case with him.
I see. What kind of cases does your brother handle?
He does more like business disputes and immigration. He has a lot of Brazilian clients
Mhm.
because we lived in Brazil, so
Yeah,
falo português.
yeah,
So we
that's
have
great.
a huge. Brazilian community in Central Florida, so he serves them. And
Mhm.
then he's also doing a little bit of personal injury where I come in and co-counsel with him because
Mhm.
he didn't know much about it, so I do the work.
I see. Well, this is kind of a weird question, but like even when you speak in Spanish with your clients, do you ever have trouble finding the right words for legal terms? Because
Yeah, I when I have clients who are from different countries and speak different languages, I ask them if we could do it in English first, because for legal terms, I obviously feel much more comfortable in English. And then if they say no, then I'll try to do my best in their language. Because
yeah.
I'm fluent, but I mean, there are some limitations when it comes to explaining legal concepts and stuff like that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because I can sort of speak Mandarin Chinese, but boy, it like how do you explain a motion for summary judgment or motion to
Right.
dismiss or interrogatories? I never knew. I mean, what are those words in another language? It beats
It's
me.
it's even hard to explain it to a non-lawyer in English, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna try and in a language where you're not as good at, then it gets really hard.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, okay, so should we end it soon because it's already after an hour and
Yeah,
I
I
do
haven't
need
had
to.
any. I don't think I found anybody for tennis, but I think everybody's waiting for the interview from the sentencing. So yes, hi Zulu, nice to see you. Hi everybody. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We had a very nice chat, Judy. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
joining me.
thank you. Thank you so much. I think I'll switch over to my own live stream and see if I can answer some questions real fast and then
Yeah. So
get back to work.
yeah, I'll on the other one you can add yourself up. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna end this one. That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm switching over to my own live
All right.
stream now.
Sounds good. Bye bye.
Take care. Thank
You're
you.
up. Bye.
Bye. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me. This is just a one person YouTube show, so I don't have a production crew that can help me juggle these computers and stuff. Okay, here, low budget YouTube channel. Uh, okay, hey everybody, thank you for being here. And let me figure out how to turn up the volume. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Mentor Lawyer is off there. Okay, hey everybody, thank you guys for still being out there. And I'm sorry, since I was mainly paying attention to the other computer, which was Mentor Lawyer stream, so I could not look at any of the comments on the other laptop on my own live stream. But that was pretty cool. It's the first time we figured out how we could broadcast to two different computers here. So let me see here. Okay, we'll start maybe from the top. Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for being there and also for helping us test out this first time doing a live streaming to two different YouTube channels. Yeah, hi Fancy Fiction. Yeah, we totally gave you a shout out also. So hope you get a lot more subscribers. You totally deserve to exceed 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is my favorite lipstick, which is the Maybelline 24-hour Super Stay stuff that kind of goes on like paint and then it dries on your lips and it's really good. It lasts more than a day even. I have to really use petroleum jelly to get it all off at the end of the day, but it's good. So I feel like I'm not eating lipstick all day whenever I eat or drink something. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Antoine, for being here also. I really appreciate it. Oh, good. So the sound was good. True Lifestyles was here. Thank you. Please tune in. She has all sorts of interesting tea on everybody, including Katie recently. Yeah. Sister. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, it was a very good impact statement. I was really touched by it. Hi, Carrie. Oh, great. Yeah, thanks for supporting everybody. Oh, good luck to you if you have chemo. Okay. Yeah, good luck with the chemo. Flower Goddess is here. Okay, maybe I'll scroll down to more recent comments in case people are still out there. She'll be appointed state attorney to help her with the appeal. Yeah, but I saw the decision in Sigfrado Garcia's appeal, and it was just like really short and just basically affirmed the underlying decision of finding him guilty. So, you know, I mean, at least Katie's family isn't gonna waste more money spending thousands and thousands of dollars trying to hire a private attorney to appeal for that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Patty, for thanks for picking us off the Oh yeah. Hope you guys didn't see my like messy, dirty room all over the floor when I was moving the laptop around. Yeah. Like I said, this is a low budget YouTube channel. Yeah, somebody was complaining and telling me I need to up my production value. And I was like, excuse me, this is not CNN or CNBC. It's a YouTube channel. Okay. You want to pay for me to have a production studio and crew? Sure. Yeah. Okay. The one sentence I heard Charlie say while leaving was so suave, saying, "Hi, how are you doing?" to a female. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't hear that. Yeah. Okay. So he just couldn't help himself by like talking to the female lawyer. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. Does Katie have any value at all for prosecutors? Yeah, I mean, it seems very little, but she can still have some value, especially if whatever she later changes her story to has independent corroborating evidence, to show that she didn't just totally make it up, that what she's saying is now true, spilling the dirt, for example, on Charlie or somebody else. So there's still a glimmer of hope, but it's just really bizarre. Oh, so shoot, I had that open on my other laptop, but I think I'll show it later tonight at the live stream I'm going to do with open discussion where you guys can feel free to join me on the video and stuff. I think that's really fun. I enjoyed that the last time. So I'm going to show later tonight the motion for pretrial release that was just filed by Charlie's attorney. So in a footnote there, it did say something about the state offering a deal to Katie right before her trial, and she still turned it down. So that was very interesting. Yeah, so I'll discuss that more after I have time to read that entire filing later today. But I really do have a couple of clients that need my attention this afternoon real soon. Yeah, she can still testify for the state if she wants to. I mean, but so far she has stuck fast to her stance, which is that she doesn't know anything. She wasn't involved at all. Yeah. So, okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you all being there. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I think everybody's just saying hello and stuff. Yeah, I was really happy that we were finally able to get together on the live stream because originally Mentour Lawyer and I were supposed to do a live later this morning. And then I was like, well, I guess he's having technical difficulties because I didn't hear from him. But then it turned out it was because Tara Kawaz had agreed to talk with him and be interviewed for his channel because he was right there at the courthouse. So that's why we had to just kind of throw up a last minute live stream later on today. Yeah. Charlie will learn to give up for his own Trinity. Yeah. Can you imagine Charlie, like hanging out in the jail bathroom waiting for some loving? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Judy, don't get tired. Okay, well, I'll try not to. I need to drink more hot tea. I did get that slippery elm tea that Terry recommended for sore throats. I suppose Georgia won't be doing any more interviews until after trial. Yeah, I mean, she's so busy and stuff. I'm definitely not going to bother her and try to ask her for an interview. I mean, that's just more distraction for her and the prosecutors. So, yeah, so let's just let her focus on her job. Yeah, hi, True Lifestyle. Yeah, how's Canada, John? Two great attorneys supporting. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get Ruth Markel to also be a guest on a future live stream show, but if she prefers not to do it live stream and just wants to do it straight video interview, then that's totally fine too. So we're in touch right now, and hopefully she will be on eventually. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Trinity wasn't expecting. Yeah, I mean, there's just like so much drama and weird stuff with all these characters that are involved with this whole entire case. Yeah. I mentioned in someone else's channel comments that's why I think this case has drawn even more interest from the general public because it's not a straightforward case of, wife killing the husband, like in that Danielle Redlet case. I was following that a while, but I was like, nah, it's probably not worth me doing a live stream about, because it's pretty open and shut, cut and dry, where, she stabbed him, but she's saying she was abused and that he was trying to, beat her up. And, so she ended up being found not guilty. But there are just so many cases across the whole country or the whole world where it's just the same old story where, a couple is breaking up and someone gets mad and kills the other person, or, one spouse or one former lover leaves the person and then the jealous person kills them. So it's just more commonplace, but this is very unusual in that there are so many people involved. There are class differences, people of different backgrounds or ethnicities involved, people from different strata of socioeconomic class. So very interesting crime or interesting criminal case. Yeah. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for being here also. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was afraid he was going to say, that he was going to be Jorge, or they keep calling him George in all these interviews and stuff. Yeah. I was like, is ML going to be Jorge Torres? And somehow they would find like a suitcase to zip him up in. Oh no. Yeah. That was horrible. Yeah. He looked unhappy. Poor Charlie. Yeah. Well, yeah, poor Dan Markel and Dan Markel's family, right? Yeah, I promise Charlie will be lying. Yeah, and also having his like pompous, arrogant attitude of preaching to everybody, right? Yeah, it's good to see Charlie in handcuffs. Yeah. Do you think Katie will give up Charlie, or too scared? I don't know. I mean, it still seems like she's not going to give up Charlie. There must be still some money running to her family or her kids, or something to do with money. I mean, she certainly got tons of stuff through Charlie after Dan Markel was murdered. Yeah, Charlie has a kid now. If he doesn't want to be in jail for life, he needs to rat out Wendy and Donna. Yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't really seem like he cared much about hanging out and taking care of his nephews. So I'm not sure what kind of relationship he had with his child. Although I think at the deposition last December, maybe he did say something about how he was still seeing his child or having his child over sometimes. Yeah, even though he and the baby mama had broken up when the child was, I guess, a baby. Yeah. Reason is that she will be appealing if one judgment. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right. Hey, Pancakes, I really enjoy seeing your comments all over the place. A lot of times they're pretty funny too. Yeah, so thank you for also being here. Yeah, Fancy Fiction has a good sense of direction. I like Donna. Yeah, someone is doing Charlie's hair in the clean. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some sort of barber salon type place for all the prisoners or the jail people in jail to get their hair taken care of. You think? Yeah, so we answered that it seems like she's not going to give up Charlie. Yeah, so subscribe to True Lifestyles. Best of all, the prosecution asking to make the Charlie trial as soon as possible. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they have enough evidence without Katie potentially testifying or turning on. They don't need Katie for Charlie, but she could blow the lid open for Wendy and her mom. Yeah, if she knew anything about their knowledge. Yeah. Okay, yeah, editing is definitely a real drag. If Magbanua thought about Dan Markel every single day, why did she never bring his name up in two trials? A trial about Dan Markel. Yeah, that's right. That statement sounded like something that her attorney wrote, not her. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Charlie will rat on Wendy, not Mommy. Yeah, I mean, I sort of agree with that also. Okay, yeah, so let's get to some new comments, and then unfortunately I do have to get going to get some work done for my clients. Yeah. He won't rat out his family. He needs them now. Yeah, I mean, who else does he have now? With so many of his friends finally, turning their backs on him and not supporting him anymore. Yeah, I would feel that he still feels very loyal to his parents at least. Yeah, Charlie's not giving good dad energy. Let's see. Um, yeah, I think so. Yeah, as someone that doesn't practice criminal law, especially in Florida, yeah, it's basically to see, does he deserve to be out on bond or not? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's going to get denied. Yeah. Luis Rivera is just learning what a lion is and what an owl is. He got one of those kid toys. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, I remember those toys back from the 80s, right? Yeah, the cow goes moo. Yeah. Um, After the first trial, Kate wasn't she considered? Yeah, well, that's what they said today is that she filled out the form or whatever, to be an indigent person so she can get a court appointed attorney to help her with the appeal. Yeah. So I have no idea what assets she could possibly have anymore at this point. Maybe that old Lexus that she got through Harvey Adelson. So, oh, okay. Okay. She's a biscuit bumper. Okay, interesting. That's funny. Never heard of that term. Yeah, happy to hear about Magbanua's final nail in the coffin. She's not living. Orange is a new black. Yeah. Katie's testimony be admissible. Well, I mean, in general, she would need to. I think she would need to be there in person to testify at the trial. Yeah, I think so. I mean, there are certain exceptions as to where you could use video testimony from a prior legal proceeding. So I don't want to say anything wrong since I don't actually practice criminal law, especially in Florida. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate your words of support and everything. Yeah. Do you think with all his time in prison, he wants to learn to read and write? I see Sigfrado. Yeah, you saw that on, was it True Lifestyles, where Sigfrado Garcia was very politely asking for a pocket Bible and they turned him down. And then he politely asked for chicken soup for the prisoner's soul book. And then he also said he really enjoyed reading the book. What was it called? Like Jet Skis from Hell, something like that. Yeah, so Sigfrado likes to read. And yeah, I would hope that Luis could learn to read when he's in jail. Yeah, but I think he has mental health problems also. Maybe he has some sort of dyslexia or learning disability. I'm just guessing. Yeah, because he's already, how old do you think Luis is? Yeah, probably around 40-ish years old, and yet, or early 40s, and he can barely read. Yeah. So hopefully he's doing something productive in jail. Learning to read would be something good when you have all that time on your hand. Yeah. He's getting paid by Mommy Dearest. Katie's lawyer to Katie. She's just not into you. Okay. Yeah. Would you give Katie time served and out of it? No, that's not enough punishment for her. Yeah, because she's only been in jail for less than 6 years. Yeah, I don't think that's enough punishment for someone that also helped cook up somebody else's murder. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion. Yeah, sorry. I always have to preface things to be more careful now, right? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead. See. Okay, Charlie went from drilling daily to daily drilling. Okay. Let's see. Are Charlie's calls mostly to attorneys or mama? Lots of laughter. Yeah, I think True said it's mostly to his father and also to that Filipino American therapist. So if you check out True Lifestyles YouTube channel, you can find more information as well as a picture of that person. But it looks like she was also active before on the Miami party scene because I saw a picture of her on some website from about 4 years ago. And she's also a therapist with offices in Florida as well as Northern Virginia. And someone said she's also a massage therapist. So that's somebody that Charlie has been making a lot of phone calls to. Yeah. Okay. Same with most attorneys, just working for the paycheck. Do you think Rashbaum hasn't listened to the 45-minute Dolce Vita call? And yeah, I'm sure he's already listened to it, especially since I just read his motion for the pretrial release today. So he mentions the Dolce Vita recordings. Yeah, what do you know about Bree, Charlie's baby mama? Okay, well, again, I kind of walk a fine line because she is just a normal person that didn't ask to be brought into this mess. Although I do wonder, like, did she even know about the news surrounding Charlie and his potential involvement in the murder of Dan Markel? Because she was dating him back in 2017 after all this news media storm came out and the arrests of Sigfrado and Luis and Katie. So you would assume that Bree did know that Charlie was potentially involved in the murder. So she was the nanny for Wendy's then boyfriend's kids. So she met Charlie that way. And then I guess Charlie and June had she said like a 2-month break from dating each other. And then he started dating Bree and got her pregnant. And then he moved in with her. And I'm not sure if she has a job right now, but at least she's getting child support court ordered now after she had to file a case against him back in 2019. So, and her mother is a life coach. Yeah. So I did some sleuthing and stuff, but again, people will probably say, why are you gossiping about these people? So, but anyway, yeah, the funny thing is that I do have a mutual friend in common with baby mama's mama through Facebook. I saw that, but this isn't, it's a fellow attorney friend of mine, but I'm not close enough friends that I would feel comfortable calling up this attorney friend and saying, hey, what do you know about Bree's mother? Yeah. I mean, maybe if I just happen to run into this person at the courthouse or somewhere downtown, but I wouldn't deliberately email or call this Facebook friend of mine that is a connection that I have with them, because it looks like the baby mama's mama is also from North Carolina, around not too far from where I am. Yeah. So it's a small world, right? Yeah. Okay. Katie finds comfort in the Holy Trinity. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, money talk, sadly. What do you think about Kalas looking right into the camera, saying their interest was all parties being brought to justice? Well, she did mention Wendy in the statement this morning. So I'm sure Kawas is thinking about Wendy Adelson and the parents. So she wanted... What was the context in which she brought up Wendy? Yeah, just saying that Katie supposedly felt really bad when she found out that Markel grandparents weren't even able to see their grandchildren, and that Wendy had allegedly lied on the stand when she said that the grandparents did get to see the kids or whatever, but it turned out the visitation was then cut off again. So yeah, but that's stuff that if you want to see it for yourself, it's up there on Deep Dive True Crime, today's court proceedings. Yeah. When are you going to get the divorce? Well, I mean, I would like to do that. I mean, there's just like a whole list of things I need to do just on this case. And, I still don't want to totally focus my YouTube channel on solely the Dan Markel murder and solely, Charlie Adelson, Catherine Magbanua type of stuff, because, eventually this stuff will probably be over. And so I need to still have a more general legal theme. So I have a huge list of ideas and things that I need to do to prepare for future videos and future live streams and get future guests and everything. So that is something I want to do. Things have been crazy. I had to run to court 3 times this past week for my real job and stuff. So I do plan on requesting some more of the civil litigation files, and hopefully I'll be able to, do a live stream about that. But right now I'm still trying to get a couple of guests for August, actually 3 guests, and, book 3 guests. And I'm still reading through more depositions that I found from the insurance disability case. So I'm going to read through them all, well, or at least a couple of them this weekend, see if it's worth doing a live stream about. But if it's really boring, then of course I won't bother, doing a live stream about those additional depositions. Yeah, please. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to stick with it, but at the same time, I still want to cover other sort of different legal topics and stuff, so that my channel doesn't become solely known as, okay, the Dan Markel trial saga, channel. So yeah, because originally I did do a lot of more videos just about, getting into law school or different aspects of the legal profession, interviews with lawyers and stuff. But sometimes I get the feeling that most people aren't that interested in it, because like the latest interview with a patent lawyer has only gotten about 235 views, which is really bad compared to some of the other interviews. Yeah. And of course, there's other legal cases that I'm interested in too. So I was just talking to ML about that whole Sarah Boone suitcase case. I mean, that I find pretty interesting for some reason. So I've been reading a lot about that. And I was reading a lot about the Gabby Petito, Brian Laundrie case. There's also some ongoing lawsuit against Yale Law School that I've been wanting to cover too. So just a lot of different topics out there. So sometimes it's kind of hit or miss. It's like, okay, I'll do a live stream about this, and who knows how many people will even show up to be interested in it. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate all your support and stuff. I like seeing your comments also, and I agree with pretty much all your comments that I've seen so far. Katie, thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, the divorce readings. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so we can see for ourselves, or I'll give an opinion, was Dan Markel being overly litigious and being a jerk in the legal proceedings? Or, did some of his filings have some modicum of truth? Or what was Wendy's response to this? So, yeah, so I am interested in figuring that stuff out too, especially since I've handled a lot of divorce cases in my real career. So, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get branded, because, like if Charlie's trial is over by, say, next January or next March, then what am I going to do with this channel? I mean, I really, it's just such a fun hobby. I encourage everybody out there that if you have something you want to share with people, or you have a very specific hobby or interest, or you have a special talent, why not start your own YouTube channel? I mean, I've been doing this ever since COVID happened, starting back in, I would say, April of 2020. And it started out with, I had fewer than 100 subscribers, and it was really slow and it was kind of like a real downer at times, just making all these videos and not even being monetized, and wondering if anybody even cares and stuff. And but after doing this, if you're really passionate about what you're doing, then it's actually not that much work. It's kind of fun. It's like a hobby. So anyway, yeah, so I just feel like doing YouTube is just a really fun thing to do. And most of the time, I would say like 98% of the people are very supportive and nice. There's always going to be a few trolls out there. Yeah. Oh, sure. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. Sure. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a lot more research later today after I get some real work done, as well as this weekend. Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So somebody actually is interested. Okay, yeah, because there is a lawsuit that's been going on for about a year against Yale Law School. And that happens to be the law school that my ex-husband went to. So I took some interest in that too. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but I can look into that if I ever get around to doing the live stream on that. Because, I don't want to just throw up a live stream and just start blathering off the top of my head. I feel like you got to do some research before turning on the camera. Yeah. Oh, hi, Veronica. Found your channel because I recently took the LSAT. Wow. Okay, great. You're giving me some great information. Happen to be interested in Markel trial from. Okay, that's great. Yeah, if you want to tell us, how's it going? Are you applying to law school this fall? Yeah, because it's already July now, right? Yeah, so you'd probably be applying to law school this fall, and then you'd get your acceptances next spring. Yeah, so good luck with that, and feel free to let me know, like, what law schools are you looking into? Yeah, but definitely, one of the recurring themes in all of my law school bound legal profession videos is that you definitely do not want to take out too much debt, especially if it's not for a very top ranked law school, because I do know of plenty of people who have been saddled with student loan debt, and it's really miserable, you know, when your student loan payments are more than your rent or more than your mortgage, or, you know, it's not like a surefire way of becoming rich, definitely. Yeah. But I do wish you the best of luck, and I hope you can get into a really good school. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Sophia. Yeah. Thanks again for always showing up and everything. Yeah. Oh, okay. You had no idea there was a lawsuit against Yale Law School. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on there. Yeah. Okay. So I think I better get going then. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to do the open live stream later on tonight at 7:45. And hopefully by then I will have read the motion for pretrial release, and we can show that up on the screen. And just anybody wants to join in on video and talk to everybody, then, you know, I will totally encourage and welcome that too. Yeah. You started a PD. What's PD? Okay, and a YouTube. Oh, YouTube channel. Okay, great. Okay, well, if your YouTube channel is your name, then I'll take a look at it later today, and I'll definitely subscribe to you. Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good rest of the afternoon, and hopefully you guys will join in again later tonight at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, take care then. See you guys soon.